Have you ever noticed that the way women view men changes as they get older? Many men assume attraction works the same way at every stage of life. They believe women are always focused on the same physical features, the same standards, and the same qualities they were drawn to in their 20s. But according to countless conversations with mature women, that simply is not true. As life experience grows, priorities change. The things that once captured attention often become less important, while other qualities begin to stand out in powerful ways. One of the biggest surprises for many men over 60 is discovering that women are often paying attention to things they never expected. They are not necessarily comparing a man to younger men. They are not sitting there measuring him against unrealistic standards of youth. Instead, they are looking for clues. Small, non-verbal clues that reveal how a man feels about himself, how he lives his life, and whether he still carries a sense of purpose and engagement with the world around him. This is important because attraction after 60 is rarely about perfection. Most women understand that aging affects everyone. Wrinkles appear, hair changes, energy levels shift. These things are normal. What stands out is not whether a man has avoided aging, but how he responds to it. Has he remained active? Does he still take pride in himself? Does he move through life with confidence and awareness, or does he seem disconnected and withdrawn? Long before a man says a single word, his body begins telling a story. The way he stands, the way he moves, and the way he presents himself communicate messages that women notice almost instantly. In today's video, we're going to explore 5 body signals women consistently notice in men over 60 and what those signals reveal about the man behind them. One thing became very clear when listening to women discuss attraction after the age of 60. Their attention is no longer focused on the same things that often dominate conversations about dating and appearance. When people are younger, attraction is frequently linked to physical intensity. Height, muscles, facial features, and youthful appearance tend to receive a great deal of attention. But as women gain life experience, many begin evaluating men through a very different lens. Instead of asking, does he look younger than his age? Many women begin asking a deeper question. Does he still seem engaged with life? That distinction changes everything. At this stage of life, attraction often becomes less about appearance and more about presence. Women start noticing signs that reveal how a man treats himself, how he carries himself, and whether he still approaches life with energy and purpose. Psychologists often refer to this as nonverbal communication. Long before two people have a conversation, the body begins sending signals. A person's posture can reveal confidence or discouragement. Their facial expressions can communicate warmth or emotional distance. The way they move can suggest vitality or exhaustion. These signals are subtle, but they often influence first impressions more than people realize. What makes this especially important is that these signals are difficult to fake consistently. They develop from daily habits, attitudes, and routines that have been practiced for years. A man who stays active, remains curious, and continues investing in himself usually communicates that naturally through his body language. Likewise, a man who has slowly withdrawn from life often reveals that without intending to. This is why mature women frequently notice things that younger men overlook. They are not simply looking at a man's appearance, they are observing the story his body tells. And the first signal on our list may be the most powerful example of that principle, because it often shapes an impression within seconds of entering a room. The first body signal women notice in men over 60 is posture. At first glance, that may sound almost too simple. After all, posture is not something most men spend much time thinking about. Yet when women describe the qualities that immediately stand out, posture appears again and again because it communicates far more than physical appearance. In many ways, it serves as a silent introduction before a man ever says a word. Imagine 2 men of the same age entering a room. Neither man is exceptionally tall. Neither has a movie star physique, yet one immediately seems more confident and engaging. Why? Often the difference is in how he carries himself. His shoulders are relaxed rather than collapsed. His chest is open instead of compressed. His head remains level, allowing him to appear present and aware of his surroundings. Nothing about this looks forced. It simply communicates that he is comfortable in his own skin. Women often interpret posture as a reflection of how a man approaches life. A man who stands upright tends to appear more energetic, more capable, and more connected to the world around him. By contrast, a man who constantly looks downward, allows his shoulders to roll forward, or moves as if he is carrying an invisible burden can unintentionally project a very different message. It may suggest fatigue, discouragement, or a lack of engagement, even if that is not how he actually feels. What makes posture so powerful is that it develops from daily habits. It is influenced by activity levels, confidence, health, and mindset. Over time, these habits become visible through the body. That is why women often notice posture so quickly. They are not judging perfection, they are reading signals, and posture frequently tells them whether a man still approaches life with purpose, self-respect, and quiet confidence. When women notice a man carrying himself well at this stage of life, they often see more than posture. They see evidence that he has not stopped investing in himself, and that message can be surprisingly attractive. The second body signal women often notice in men over 60 is the eyes. While many men assume women are focused on obvious physical features, countless women describe the eyes as one of the first places their attention naturally goes. The reason has very little to do with eye colour or shape. What they are really observing is something deeper. They are looking for signs of presence, awareness, and engagement with life. The eyes often reveal things a person never says aloud. A man may speak confidently, but if his eyes appear distracted or disconnected, the overall impression changes. On the other hand, a man who maintains calm, natural eye contact often appears more grounded and self-assured. He gives the impression that he is fully present in the moment rather than mentally somewhere else. Women frequently describe this as a feeling rather than a specific observation. They may not consciously analyze it, yet they sense when a man's attention is genuine. When he listens carefully, maintains comfortable eye contact, and responds thoughtfully, it creates an impression of confidence that does not need to be announced. It simply exists. Another detail women notice is the overall energy around the eyes. Some men appear curious about the world. Their expressions suggest interest, attentiveness, and a willingness to engage with life. Others may appear emotionally closed off or detached, even when they are not intentionally trying to seem that way. These subtle differences can influence first impressions more than many men realize. This becomes especially important after the age of 60 because many women are not searching for youthful perfection. They are looking for signs of vitality. They want to know whether a man still carries curiosity, enthusiasm, and awareness. The eyes often provide clues to all three. A man who remains interested in people, experiences, and the world around him tends to communicate that naturally through his gaze. And when women notice that spark of engagement, it often becomes one of the most attractive qualities they encounter because it suggests that age has not diminished his connection to life itself. The third body signal women consistently notice in men over 60 is the smile. At first, this may not seem particularly surprising. Most people understand that smiling can make someone appear friendly, but what many men fail to realize is that a genuine smile communicates far more than simple friendliness. It often reveals emotional confidence, comfort with oneself, and an openness that becomes increasingly attractive with age. Women frequently describe the smile as one of the quickest ways to form an emotional impression. Before a conversation develops, before personal details are shared, a smile can immediately influence how approachable a man appears. A natural smile suggests that a man is comfortable in social situations and at ease with who he has become. That quiet sense of self-acceptance can be incredibly appealing. What women often notice is not the smile itself, but how authentic it feels. A forced smile usually appears only around the mouth. It can seem rehearsed or disconnected from genuine emotion. A real smile, however, affects the entire face. The eyes become warmer, the cheeks lift naturally, the expression feels relaxed rather than manufactured. People instinctively respond to this difference, even when they cannot explain why. Many women also associate a genuine smile with emotional stability. A man who can smile naturally often appears more resilient, more positive, and more engaged with life. This does not mean he never experiences difficulties. Rather, it suggests that challenges have not hardened him or caused him to withdraw completely from the world around him. As people grow older, emotional warmth often becomes more attractive than physical intensity. Women are not necessarily searching for the loudest or most dominant man in the room. They are often drawn to men who create a sense of comfort and ease. A sincere smile accomplishes that almost instantly. Perhaps most importantly, a genuine smile signals that a man still finds enjoyment in life. It communicates optimism, confidence, and human connection. And for many women, those qualities become increasingly valuable as the years go by. The fourth body signal women notice in men over 60 is the hands. This surprises many men because hands are rarely mentioned in conversations about attraction. Yet when women talk about the details that stand out during everyday interactions, hands appear far more often than most people would expect. The reason is simple. Hands reveal habits, and habits reveal how a person lives. Unlike clothing, which can be changed in a matter of minutes, hands often tell a longer story. They are visible when a man greets someone, holds a coffee cup, opens a door, or gestures during conversation. These small moments give women opportunities to notice details that many men overlook. What women are usually observing is not perfection. They are not expecting flawless skin or youthful hands. Aging affects everyone, and mature women understand that. Instead, they notice signs of care and attention. Trimmed nails, clean hands, and basic grooming suggest that a man still values himself enough to maintain the small details of daily life. That may sound insignificant, but psychologically, it sends a powerful message. Many women also find something appealing about hands that reflect activity and capability. Hands that show evidence of gardening, building, repairing things, or staying physically engaged with life often communicate usefulness and independence. These qualities can be highly attractive because they suggest a man remains involved in the world around him rather than simply observing it from a distance. On the other hand, severely neglected hands can create a different impression. They may suggest that a man has stopped paying attention to his personal well-being. Fair or not, people often use small details to form larger conclusions. What makes hands so interesting is that they quietly combine two important signals. They reveal self-respect and activity at the same time, and for many women over 50 or 60, those qualities matter far more than physical perfection. Hands may seem like a small detail, but they often communicate a great deal about the man behind them. The fifth body signal women notice in men over 60 is the way he moves. This is often the most overlooked signal because many men focus on appearance while paying very little attention to movement. Yet movement communicates something powerful. It reveals energy, confidence, emotional state, and even how a man feels about himself. Long before a conversation begins, the way a man walks across a room can leave a lasting impression. Women frequently describe this as a feeling rather than a conscious observation. They may not be analysing every step a man takes, but they notice the overall impression his movement creates. Does he appear comfortable in his own skin? Does he move with purpose? Does he seem present and aware of his surroundings? These questions are often answered without a single word being spoken. One of the most attractive qualities women notice is calm, deliberate movement. A man who walks at a steady pace, keeps his posture open, and moves without unnecessary tension often appears more confident. He doesn't look rushed. He doesn't seem distracted. Instead, he gives the impression that he knows where he is going and feels comfortable occupying his space. This becomes especially important after the age of 60 because movement often reflects lifestyle. A man who stays active tends to move differently from someone who has become completely sedentary. His movements usually appear more fluid, balanced, and controlled. Women often interpret this as a sign that he still takes care of himself and remains engaged with life. Interestingly, confidence is not always visible in facial expressions or conversation. Sometimes it appears most clearly in movement. The way a man stands up from a chair, walks into a room, reaches for an object, or navigates a crowded space can communicate a sense of self-assurance that words cannot match. For many women, movement is attractive because it reveals vitality. It suggests that a man is still participating in life rather than merely watching it pass by. And that quiet sense of vitality often becomes one of the strongest signals of all. One of the biggest mistakes men make after 60 is believing that attraction is purely about physical appearance. Because of this belief, they often focus their attention on the wrong things. They worry about wrinkles, thinning hair, or the natural changes that come with age while completely overlooking the signals women actually notice first. The truth is that many women are not searching for perfection. What they are looking for are signs that a man still values himself and remains actively engaged with life. Unfortunately, some men unintentionally send the opposite message. Over the years, they begin neglecting small habits that quietly influence how others perceive them. Their posture gradually collapses. They stop paying attention to grooming. They become less active and less aware of how they present themselves. None of these changes happen overnight. They develop slowly, often without the man realizing it. What makes this important is that these habits influence every body signal we have discussed so far. Poor posture can make an energetic man appear tired. Lack of eye contact can make a confident man seem uncertain. Neglected grooming can overshadow qualities that would otherwise be attractive. Even movement can become affected when physical activity disappears from daily life. Another common mistake is assuming that improvement is no longer possible. Some men quietly accept decline as an unavoidable part of aging. They stop investing in themselves because they believe the effort no longer matters. Yet women often notice the exact opposite. They notice the man who still stands tall, still smiles naturally, still takes care of his health, and still approaches life with curiosity. Attraction after 60 is rarely about competing with younger men. It is about avoiding the habits that make a person appear disconnected from life. When a man continues caring for himself physically and emotionally, it becomes visible in countless small ways. And those small signals often create stronger impressions than any attempt to look younger ever could. As we move deeper into this discussion, it becomes clear that none of these body signals exist in isolation. Women are not walking into a room and consciously scoring a man's posture, examining his hands, or analysing the way he walks. Human attraction rarely works that way. Instead, the mind gathers dozens of small observations and combines them into one overall impression. That impression often determines whether someone appears confident, attractive, and engaging, or whether they fade into the background. This is why these signals matter more than traditional ideas about appearance. A man may not have perfect features, he may not be exceptionally tall, he may not have the body he had 30 years ago. Yet if he carries himself well, maintains eye contact, smiles naturally, takes care of himself, and moves with purpose, women often perceive him very differently. The overall message becomes far more powerful than any individual feature. What many women notice after 60 is not youthfulness, it is vitality. They are looking for signs that a man still has energy, curiosity, confidence, and a connection to the world around him. These qualities create an emotional response because they suggest something deeper than appearance, they suggest character. Psychologists have long understood that people are naturally attracted to signals of emotional health and engagement. Someone who appears interested in life often becomes more interesting to others. Someone who seems comfortable with himself often makes other people feel comfortable as well. These reactions happen quickly and often below conscious awareness. This is why body language becomes so important. It communicates attitudes and habits that words cannot always capture. A man may tell people he is confident, active, and optimistic, but his body will often reveal the truth long before he has the chance to explain himself. For many women, these non-verbal signals are not simply observations. They are clues about who a man is, how he lives, and whether he still approaches life with enthusiasm and purpose. And those qualities often become far more attractive than physical perfection ever could. Now that we've explored all 5 body signals, a larger picture begins to emerge. None of these signals are really about body parts at all. They're about what those body parts communicate. Posture, eyes, smile, hands, and movement are simply visible expressions of something deeper. They reveal habits, attitudes, and choices that have been repeated over time. And that is what many women are actually noticing when they meet a man over 60. One of the most important discoveries from conversations with mature women is that attraction at this stage of life is rarely about trying to look younger. Most women are not expecting a man in his 60s or 70s to compete with someone half his age. In fact, many find that idea unnecessary and unrealistic. What stands out instead is a man who appears comfortable with who he is while still taking care of himself. A man who has accepted the passage of time without surrendering to it. Every signal we discuss points toward the same quality, self-respect. A man who respects himself tends to stand differently. He maintains better posture. He pays attention to grooming. He stays active enough to move with confidence. He smiles more naturally because he feels comfortable in his own skin. He remains engaged with people and the world around him, and that engagement shows in his eyes. What makes this encouraging is that none of these qualities require perfection. They do not depend on genetics, wealth, or extraordinary talent. They come from small daily decisions, choosing to stay active, choosing to care about your appearance, choosing to remain curious, choosing to participate in life rather than withdraw from it. If there is one lesson to remember from this entire video, it is this. Women often notice signs of vitality long before they notice physical features. They are looking for evidence that a man is still living with purpose, energy, and confidence. And when those qualities are present, they become visible in ways that words can never fully explain. Before you go, I want to ask you something. If you watched this video all the way to the end, type "watch till the end" in the comments below. I always enjoy seeing who stays with me through the entire discussion. And while you're there, tell me where you're watching from today. It's fascinating to see how far this community reaches around the world. If you found this video helpful, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss future discussions on female psychology, attraction, confidence, and human behavior. And remember, the goal is not to become younger. The goal is to become the strongest, most confident, and most engaged version of yourself at the age you are today. That is the signal women notice most of all.